Hi everyone, warmly welcome to this market outlook. My name is Hassan. I've been trading and investing for over 8+ years, and this is the place where we focus on logics and statistics and we leave out the emotions. Let's start with the macro view and then head into the charts. Let's see the news for the week. We have a lot of red folders today, and it is both USD and Euro. And also on Wednesday, you can see Powell testifies. This is right after the US market open, so we should be a bit careful there. Half an hour after the open, he will start talking. And then we have some core price index on Friday. Other than that, there is nothing special to have a look at. I think the most important news for the week is these Powell testifies news. And Mondays anyways, it doesn't matter if there is a lot of red folders. We are still very careful on Mondays because Monday is the day where the charts often start to manipulate. If we have a look at the earnings calendar, we can see here Monday, Tuesday, nothing special, nothing on Wednesday. We have Thursday and Friday. Nothing special in terms of reports this week. And the fear and greed index in S&P 500 is coming down to neutral. We will look at indices later. We will have a look at Nasdaq. But in my opinion, I'm just seeing this as a correction down to fill up the tank and then attack even extreme greed the next time. If we look at the crypto fear and greed index, we can see we are actually down on fear right now. There is a lot of room up to extreme greed, but we have to focus on the charts. Like, there is room for good risk to reward to aim for higher levels, but the most important thing is to have a look at the chart, and we will do that soon. In terms of liquidations, we can see a lot of longs are liquidated the latest days. That is a signal for me that we are building up a pivot point in terms of a low to aim for even higher levels in Bitcoin. But that doesn't mean that we're going up directly right now. It means we have to look for something in the chart, and I will tell you as soon as we look at the Bitcoin chart. If we look at the daily exchange volume, we can see that we broke this low. That's not quite good, and we are still slightly a bit higher than this low. This is 30.85 and this is 31.6. Nothing is happening here. We need higher daily exchange volume in order to have more strength to deliver price even higher. So that is something you can keep in mind when you analyze the Bitcoin chart. Also have a look at the daily exchange volume. If we start with the Bitcoin chart here, we can see we took out some liquidity here, we broke up, and we have some fair value gaps here. And these are actually from the weekly chart. You can see here, fair value gaps. And we actually touched this first weekly fair value gap once, and now this is the second time. And if we have a look at the daily chart, we need to see a clear reaction from this area in order to become bullish. I mean, we have this high, we have this high. We need to see a clear reaction, something like this, in order to become bullish and start aiming for higher levels. In short term, I mean. Long term, I'm aiming for these levels and even higher levels. But to get the bullish bias in short term, this is something important to see in the chart. I mean, during the weekend inside the community, we were aiming down all the time. So we made a lot of money on the down move. And that is something to keep in mind. You can be bullish overall, but you can still earn money on the short-term down move. If we don't get a reaction from this area and break this high and get a correction and then break again, then another interesting area will be 50% of this range up, somewhere around 91, 92. I'm not aiming for this level. I'm telling you, if we don't get this reaction I just described for you earlier, then this is the most probable scenario to get down to these levels. And if we check Nasdaq, we can see that we took out some liquidity and we are very close to all-time high. And if we look at the 6-hour chart, we can see how the chart is squeezing itself exactly before all-time high. This is often a sign that this chart will at any time attack all-time high. But in order to have fuel to attack all-time high, it needs liquidity. This is liquidity. This is liquidity. If we get a clear reaction after taking out a lot of liquidity and also closing above this high in the 6-hour or 4-hour chart, then that is a sign of strength, and that is a sign for me to aim for all-time high and even higher levels in the short run. If we just check the 1-hour chart, you can see here there's a small gap, and most probably we often go up and fill that gap. And then what happens after that, we need to have a look exactly there. As long as we don't go and close above this high in the 4-hour or 6-hour chart, then this is a bearish trend in the short run and we can aim for even lower lows. Be very careful, it's the start of the week. Let the chart manipulate and then it will be a lot easier for you to understand what the chart want to do. Here's the daily chart in EURUSD. We have a daily demand zone here. We are touching it a few times and I'm thinking we can aim for higher levels from this demand zone to this high and even higher levels. And the confirmation I want to see is a daily candle closure above this high. If we get a reaction from here and get a daily candle close above this high, then that is a confirmation to aim for even higher levels here. If we don't get that, then sit on your hands and have a slightly bearish bias in the short run, as long as we see a sign of strength in the chart. We have, of course, like 50% of the whole leg up. So there's nothing bad to come here and touch these levels and then aim for higher levels. But we need to be adaptive, and what I'm looking for right now is the daily candle closure above this high in order to get a confirmation that we can aim for these highs here in the short run. That was basically the week's market outlook. If you liked it, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and see you on the next outlook. Bye.